Hey everybody, it's NiftyBC, and we're here with an NFT Circus podcast once again. And here comes Jimmy back into the stream here. Tonight we have Bones here from BOHNART. He is joining us today. If you haven't seen his work, he does some amazing animation. We have Ordinez, not only amazing DJ, but also a great artist, and he has some new projects that he's dropping. Jimmy D co-hosting once again, and he's coming from the Uplift world. Miss Teen Crypto. If you haven't heard of her, you should. She's out there. She's doing new stuff, and she has a new drop she's talking about. And we have TC, the master builder from Uplift. And I think the Mellow was going to be coming in too, but I'm not sure. He might pop in a little bit. So.
Oh, cool.
Anyway.
Uplift servers running. You probably won't see them.
Yeah, so what happened? You guys switched servers? What was the big thing that happened?
No, they're upgrading.
Yeah, so about a month ago, we ported the Genesis server over to AWS as a test case, just to better optimize the gaming experience, and that worked out really well. So what we decided to do, obviously, was to enable more people to have a better experience by converting all the servers now over to AWS. So there was a 48-hour window where everything was kind of shut down. It's kind of funny because we didn't get that many complaints, I think.
That's great. I was going to say that's a nerve-wracking experience to switch over servers, and just hope everything goes well. So that's good. That's good. You guys don't have any complaints. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that. What was that in Ready Player One? That forced unplug thing that they did, right?
Right. We got somebody down here, Punktavian. What's up, Punktavian? This is from Punktavian from Roman Punks. Hello, he's joining us.
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to have a crowded house tonight, I'm pretty sure. I think there's someone else coming from Mammoth Mythics, I think it is. I don't know. They plugged in earlier on. So anyway, well, let's get going. Let's talk about Miss Teen. I got your stuff up here. So let's talk about your latest project here. You're doing something with Een. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Ein.
Or Ein?
I made the same mistake at first. Don't worry.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so tell us about it.
Oh, so this is Zesty Divas. This is a new collection on OpenSea. We chose the Zesty number 8,888 to exist.
Nice.
So basically, it was really funny how the team actually came together. The theme song to my podcast, which is also the intro to this video, was done by my team member Dan, and so I minted this NFT with him a while back. I would say around June, the time we all went to Shitcoin. And then I met Ein in real life when we've been friends for almost a year on Telegram at that point. I met her in real life at the same time. And I knew me and her wanted to collab, instead of doing a one-time collab on Wax, which would have been cool. But I love her art, and she's so amazingly talented. And she's 20 years old as well. We're really close in age. So I was just like, why don't we just team up and do something together? And of course she had the art, but we needed the super coder smart people. So then we recruited Dan, and we all just teamed up. And now we have this thing going, Zesty Divas. Right. And now our Discord is open. You could get the link right there.
Yeah, let me get the link. Yeah, let me get the.
It's right on that post. So basically, we're giving out whitelist spots. It's very easy right now. It will not be easy soon. So we're gonna if you invite 5 people into the Discord, then you will get a whitelist spot. But it's really fun. I'm very excited for it, and we're just gonna take it day by day, and hopefully we could, match up or come close to the amazing women's projects that are already out there, along with other ETH projects in general, because there are so many amazing ones. But yeah, her art is just so amazing.
Great. And where's she located, did you say, Miss T?
She's in Mexico. I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose exactly.
Okay, that's not we're not doxing her.
Yeah, I'm not doxing her. But yeah, I don't know how public she wants to be.
Sure.
But yeah, she's very popular on Wax as well.
With her she does some great stuff. I think I saw something. She did something with Miggy as well not too long ago. I think she did a collab maybe with him. I don't know. The art seems similar. I'm not really sure, but it looks really cool. And so, now these are going to drop exactly when? When are they going to go to mint?
So that's some zesty information that we are gonna release. Not right now, but soon. We're gonna aim for it. Should be very soon. So just keep your eyes peeled. I don't know what I can disclose and what I can't. But it's very cool. Whitelist positions are low, limited, but easy to get right now, but not for long. So I'm very excited. We're also running giveaways as well. if you could win a diva, and then once they're minted, you'll be given the diva. But it's gonna be very fun.
Exciting.
Super
That's
excited.
Yeah, super cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and this is, are you going to, OpenSea is where you're going to put this? Where is this going to be?
So you're going to be able to mint on our website, ideally.
Oh, directly on your site. All right, cool.
And then you will be able to go to OpenSea and look at it in your inventory, and from there,
got it.
It's your asset.
Very cool. That's super cool. And
Thanks.
so what else do you have coming from other than this? I know you do a lot of things, Miss Teen. You just did a conference too. So what else is on your list?
I recently came back from Utah Bitcoin Summit that was held at Utah Valley University, which was so great. Shout out to everybody over there. That was awesome. Then next week, I'm pretty freaking full. I'm going to NFT NYC. I'm going to be speaking on the first day for anybody coming at 2:30 p.m. in the town hall. And so that'll be the 1st to the 4th. Then I will be interviewing Charlie Lee on the 4th.
Cool.
The creator of Litecoin for LA Blockchain Summit. So you could go to lablockchainsummit.com, claim a free ticket, and you'll be able to see us there. Week after that, I'm supposed to be in Miami, and that's going to be really fun as well. I also have my usual NFT drops going, and of course the Miss Teen Crypto Show. So.
Oh my gosh, that's too much. It's a full plate. It's a full plate. That's for sure. That's awesome.
It's a zesty plate.
That's right. It's a zesty plate. That's awesome. That's super cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, I'm just totally stoked. I mean, I like the art a lot. I caught my eye right off the bat, and then I was like, oh, she's going to do something on ETH. That's super cool. And dropping stuff. It seems like people are kind of spreading out a little bit, diversifying their releases, which is kind of cool, you know. So I'm digging it.
Yeah, soon everything's going to be multi-chain, and we won't even have to worry about it.
Exactly. Well,
Terra blockchain is doing some interesting things with being able to spread, tokens across through their bridge to other chains. They're doing Solana, they're doing Ethereum, they're doing a bunch of others. So I can't wait for the day, and I think it's going to come soon, where, like you say, you'll be able to buy an asset on one chain, and you'll be able to view all of your assets on multiple chains in the same wallet or from the same interface. Even if you can't necessarily interact with them and move them, they should all be in one place, right? Because that's the worst thing about crypto is, like, if I want to look at all my NFTs, I've got to open 10 flipping windows, right? Like,
the struggle's real. The struggle's real.
I mean, we can do it with portfolio tracking systems, right? Like we can plug our different exchanges into these portfolios, and I think there will be a day that comes very soon where no matter what blockchain your asset resides on, you'll be able to plug it in through like a similar kind of API type of system where you'll be able to see it. You might not be able to sell it or trade it from there, but you should be able to at least see it. And I think that's really important, right? Like, especially when I die, because my kids, when I die, they're going to be like, what the hell? Like, why? Like, it's like he's got a whole country of bank accounts here. Like, what's happening? I got to go here for one asset. Like, oh, these Miss Teen crypto things are cool. But like, why does he, what kind of weirdo has like one account just for Miss Teen crypto stuff? Well, I mean, the only time I would buy anything on that chain is because of Miss Teen crypto, right? Like, and so I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. Like, we definitely need better systems, but like you said, eventually everything's going to be on one blockchain, right? Like, I can't imagine the day that I had to actually go to the bank that I wanted to get my money out of and be at that bank. Right now I can just go to a 7-Eleven and I can take it out from any bank machine, right? And that's cool. That's where we need to be, essentially, right?
That's it.
You're amazing, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and things are starting to change a little bit too. On FTX, they are doing a cross-chain thing now, so Solana and ETH can talk to each other, and then hopefully Polygon and ETH will talk to each other on OpenSea, and then Coinbase is supposed to supposedly have multiples. So I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll see.
Did you guys see Joel Comm and his son Zach Comm are coming out with a new collection called Draco Dice or Draco Dice?
No.
I don't know how it's pronounced, but I think it's gonna be multi-chain, like ETH,
wow.
Wax, and BSC.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like the multi-chain thing a lot. I like that. I like tying it all in and kind of spreading it out for the brands. Actually, I think it brands out each of everyone's collection just better, in general. So, it's good.
Well, and even like with the uplift, that's something that we're exploring, right? Is like branching out. Like, it makes sense for us to be on Wax because it's fast, it's cheap. But like eventually, you don't want to have to limit your users to a certain game. To a game to a certain blockchain, right? Like, that's not optimal. Like, that's not going to work, right? Like, It's like basically giving a person a pass at the mall and saying, "Oh no, you're only allowed to go into clothing stores. You're not allowed to go into the food staff stores or any of these other things." Right. So, I think as time goes on, these multi-chain projects are going to be the only way to go. Like if you're not multi-chain, it'd be like having, if you're not multi-chain, it's going to be like having one of those like little phones that you used to have to ring up the dial in your house, right?
100%,
like,
right.
We live in an iPhone world. We live in an Android world where everything needs to be functionality. Right?
100%, man, 100%. And Bone, you know, like let's talk to Bones. Bones is actually doing multi-chain as well right now. You're doing Wax as well as ETH, isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I started on ETH and then moved to Wax, and now I'm doing both.
That's awesome. How are you liking doing both? Is it, you know, from like a stress point, is it hard to kind of keep both collections going for you? Is it easier? Like, how do you like it, you know, as far as
I'm used to doing like a lot of work at once.
Yeah.
So there's a place for my work on ETH and there's a place for my work on Wax, and it's kind of two different bodies really.
Yeah.
The ETH work is definitely more detailed. I'm trying to put, you know, audio and like more animation into it, which is what I like to do. But Wax is like smaller, quicker ideas that are not really fleshed out fully.
Right.
Really nice stuff.
And I mean, I'm personally a huge fan of yours, man. And I you know, I really, I like the the style that you have is just on point, you know. But other than that, I think you bring a real cool energy in your work, you know, that's kind of different. You know, it's kind of shocking a little bit, you know, like when you first see it, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. You know, like it pops at you, which I really like. And actually on ETH, you're doing the swams, this one right here that's on the screen, correct?
Yeah,
you're doing like
so cool.
Yeah, and this is really, go watch it, guys. I'm going to put this up on a link so you guys can go watch this on his website, because it's amazing to watch his work, man. So actually, you know what? Let me play this. Let me get out so I can actually play this on the screen and you can hear it. Hold on one second.
I was just about to yell at you because I'm like, you can't just put that. You can't
I
just
know
put that
that
up and then not show it. Like I want to see this.
It's going to happen. It's going to. Tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Boy, am I ever dried out.
Yep.
Good Lord. Pardon me. I'm just drying out. Pardon me. I'm just drying out. Sir, I request you surrender 10 swams on a stick.
Oh my God.
And if I don't get my swims, I will throw a fit. And I am very particular. There's going to be a couple of smudgy swims in my trunk. I'm looking at your prime specimens. But now I need to see your rougher swims. There's gonna be a water slide for them swams. And it will be a slam dunk, sir. Sir, please give me my swims. Excuse me. Sir, I am drying out. Kid, help me. Help me. I'm losing my arms. Now listen close. I'm smaller than ever. I'm dry as hell. I'm dry as sand, sir. Just get me in some water. Anytime now.
That's great.
And there you go. There it is. That's the reason you need to keep shrimps in waters. Swimming.
Okay, like I don't let my kids watch cartoons, but I might start now.
Yeah,
how many parts did you guys do? Bones, how many did you do? Is there,
so 2 have been released. A third one has been produced, and it's just like sitting at Adult Swim right now.
Okay.
They're trying to time it. I can't say for what reason, but there's some stuff happening at Adult Swim, and I think they're trying to time it for that specific release. So
Very cool. Very cool.
that'll happen. And then I sent them like an official pitch for like 10 to 20 more episodes. So we'll
that's
see
so
if
cool,
they
man. I hope it happens, man. It's so good, man. Do you mind if I play the second one? I'd love to kind of play this out. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, man.
This is so
So
cool.
I have wilted like a flower. Sir, I am softer than ever. A soggy boy. Saturated. Hey, kid, tell your ma to pull over. They got swammies at the gas station. Now let me out. Let me out now, kid. Come on. Holy smokes. No. Those are another man's dungarees. That's smart. There's a lot of hooey. Now, wait. Hey, don't you open up. I mean, we need to jockey for position with Tweedledee and Tweedledum, yeah. Now get froggy, kid. Get a little greener on the good. I have never seen seas as rough as these, so. Yeah. We make a good team. Now looka here. I'm D's handsome. Yeah. You're looking a little tired. Now rest your little cantaloupe down the pillow and let Uncle Swimmy tell you a story.
A gentleman in need of some swabs. The swabs are who I am. I need them to be alive and see. The swabs are who I am. I came out of the sea as pink as can be, a giant swimmer. And here I am landlocked with no salts to swim, and I'm sure you see what I mean.
Oh boy, this must be the crusting on my cake.
There you have
Really
it.
good.
Oh, it's super cool.
That's so
super
sick.
cool.
So is this the new Netflix then? Because I think it is, right? Like I think, or the new advertising, arm or something, right? Like putting something like this on the blockchain and allowing ownership of it. Like that's
Yeah,
why
like
I'm here, really.
the cool thing is I still own like all the rights and the parts of that show, so I can do like what I want with it. I can produce more. I can do, whatever. But yeah, that's like the small scale. I don't know if they're like trying to pitch smaller shows or what on Adult Swim, but that will all be moving to like a streaming service, I think.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, it looks
congrats.
amazing. Yeah, man, it's super cool. Now, how's your process, man? I always just want to know, like, what's your main influence? How'd you get into it, first of all? But what's your influences?
I don't know. I've always made art. I've always made like I found animation when I was in my teenage years, I guess. And then like there's definitely some sort of crazy part of my brain that just wants to draw, but the same thing again and again and again. So animation works out really well for me.
Yeah, animation's not a joke, man. I mean, animation's
No, it's hard.
it's a lot of dedication and focus, man. I mean, even just to put out 30 seconds is like a lot of work, you know. Like there's a lot that goes into that, and the detail that you get. You know, you're. Did you go to school specifically for animation, or did you do
Yes, I went to
yourself?
the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan.
Wow.
Studied that. It was more about like connecting with people, and like the guy who does the voice is Precogs on Wax, and he also makes great films. We've been working together for like the past 15 years.
That's great.
So it was really just about like connecting with similar-minded people, and then through that, like we figured out some sort of weird process of creating films and creating content, and we've just been doing that since.
That's amazing, man. And so, and now, what do you use? What are your main tools? Like, do you use Animate? Do you use something else specifically, like Toon Boom or something like that?
Yeah, I've always used Adobe products, like since I first started, and then like definitely paper, definitely collage. You know, there's like a lot of building that happens on traditional paper, and then it becomes digitized, and the writing process is pretty weird. I call it like building islands. Like you have all these abstract ideas, and they just start evolving and growing, and then you find ways to connect them, and you get these abstract ideas together. Swams came out of like a hungover, groggy trip to the airport with a bunch of people. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it comes from everywhere.
Yeah, you know, planning seems to be where it mainly lies with animation. Is that you got to plan so much because you don't want to obviously go at something and all of a sudden halfway through go, oh, I didn't make a major change
like,
to something, you know.
Pre-production is the biggest part because you don't want to commit to an idea before it's like actually works, you know. Right. So figuring out storyboards, figuring out script, and then editing audio, and you know, making sure that the radio plays flow together and make sense before you actually put visuals to it.
How do you like integrate with the show?
Say that again.
How you have your show, which is amazing that you've made Swams, and then the NFTs. How do the NFTs connect with the programming?
So the NFTs I made I think 20 or 30 pieces. It was the first 2 episodes. I took still frames and then did like a trace back technique, which just kind of gives it like this wiggle, like this life to it, just as like an homage to the art of it, because I really appreciate like the details and the way I look at the art is frame by frame by frame by frame, and so in each of those scenes, in each of those pieces, like I'm really locked in on the details. And I think that's lost with a lot of current animated television, animated shows. And so I'm trying to like bring back the appreciation for those small little moments. And so taking those still frames that I enjoy from the episodes and then putting them into NFT land is sort of just like, you know, just appreciating them for the small.
In a way, it must be like the worst career of all time ever. Because we live in this, but hear me out, right? Like we live in this generation of like instant gratification, right? Like even things that are on Netflix, everyone binge watches now, right? But this creative process that you have to go through to create this, like you said, is frame by frame by frame. Like you're doing an old school Disney way, right? And it's like, right? Even though you have modern technology, it still takes a lot of time to put that together. And people are just like, you know, when can I binge watch it? When can I get it? When can I get the season? Exactly. It's just like, man, I'm going as fast as I can. Like seriously, you know, like it just must be insane.
Yeah, nobody's really paying attention closely to like the small fractions of what becomes the whole. I worked on like Broadway props for 10 years, and I was a welder, and I was hyper focused on like the perfection of the beads of the weld, but on stage, like nobody cares about that. Nobody sees it. They see the prop, and then you know the show is what sells, you know, everything. And then they only come to you if like the prop fails, and then they'll throw you under the bus. But,
All right, totally.
yeah, with animation, it's the same thing. There's so many little tiny parts that have to be perfected before you get the whole picture.
And you're
so I did a show the other day with a guy who basically it's a really long process, but they release different parts of this film, and then the film gets put together, and it creates this NFT. And it's kind of an interesting process, but it got me to thinking. It's like, this could be in a way like a new collectible. Like, you've got this film now. What happens when parts of this film, or just like still images of this film, become signed, authenticated copies by Bones, the artist, right, and given out to the communities? Like, this is a game changer in a way, right? Like, screw your Hollywood Boulevard star, like, right? Like, you have one of these like little slides on the film that is mapped to the blockchain. That's a one of one. Like, that's when things in the blockchain and collectible industry get really exciting, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're working towards. Is finding a way to like self-produce full films, because like I spent a whole year last year. I made a pilot. I made a pitch deck. I went around and I pitched it to all these different companies. And at the end of the day, it's like it's a crapshoot, but the passion and the motivation like never goes. And I'm going to make the best possible show I can ever make, always.
Right.
And so I'm trying to find a way to like use the NFTs to self-produce bigger projects and then release them, because there's so many different streaming platforms that I can, easily find a way into and continuously make pieces that people want to see. So
now, do you want to focus more on like film, or do you want to get a series more? Do you like series versus films? What's your go?
I got a couple things going. There's a film that I've been developing with a close friend for a while, and like a feature film. And then I have a couple series that I've been developing. So
that's so cool.
Definitely those two are focuses. And then, there's all these like little small pieces that I don't know what to do, but I just have to sit and animate, and I have to make these little creatures and characters for a moment, and then just leave them. That's kind of like working in a sketchbook every day.
Right. Just real quick, I brought this one up just really quick because he's going to be. We have a Wax-A-Ween event happening this Saturday, guys, over at artdrop.app, and he has some special pieces he put up in his. He has a house in there. You can go into the house gallery and go check out his stuff. And this was one of them, which I totally love. But what I wanted to point out was, you were talking about animation and how different it is nowadays. If you look at this type of animation, this is 2-frame like animation. This is like you said, it's like Disney. This is like frame by frame going at this. It's not tweening, which is like such a totally different type of animation. Nothing against it, but it's this is a whole different level.
The thing is, like, if you can tween something, why not just take the time to draw your way through it?
Yeah, exactly.
It takes the same amount of time.
Yeah, because it's also a totally different feel. Like the reaction speed off of tween versus just frame by frame, so different. You can definitely tell. Like, as soon as I saw your stuff in the very beginning, I was like, wow, that's totally like old school style, like frame by frame. Like he's just might have done it on paper. I thought you did this all on paper at first when I first saw it. I was all like, it's totally crazy. But and now are you using a tablet hooked up to your PC, or do you use it like just like a Surface Pro or something like that? How do you usually do it?
I got a couple stations that I work at. One is my laptop, and I just draw on the laptop, and then another one is a Cintiq. I like the Cintiq the best. It's the most sensitive sort of space to work in, which is most like paper. But most everything starts on paper.
Nice.
Before it goes to digital. And with like my wax stuff, I've tried to find a way to like boil it down to the most, or I should say the least amount of frames that I could possibly do, and still have the fluid piece. And I'm down to like 9 drawings is my minimum, basically.
Which is amazing, which is super good. That's like a solid second, man. That's nice. Like that's solid. And you get a lot of movement out of that little bit of frames, which is so cool too. You're
you got to find a way to like work the most efficiently when you're looking at a 10-minute film or a 1-minute short or whatever it is. You got to find a way to get the most information as clear as you possibly can, you know, in that sort of least amount of work, because it's a huge undertaking.
Sure.
You know, once you add the sound and the sound design and editing and all that stuff.
And so how do you like working,
Wow.
like, you know, like Punctavian kind of brought that up earlier too, was, you know, do you like the freedom of the NFT space, you know, where you're not having to deal with maybe, you know, a producer above you telling you like to flip something around or change up a script in a certain way where you're kind of going down a direction maybe you don't like, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you're sort of in debt to these people who are funding the films, because they'll give you money up front, and then, you know, you're always going to have notes and you're always going to have
Right.
changes, and it might not even be in the best interest of the film, which, you know, we experience all the time.
Sure.
And it goes against like a lot of our artistic choices, and sometimes it works, but a lot of the times, you know, it just isn't what it should be.
Right. And then like with the NFTs, obviously you can just do it wherever the heck you want. you
Yeah.
know, just make it the
Yeah.
way you want to do it, you know?
And like the new cool thing is we can fund these films and then finish them and make these products, and then you can take the full episode or the full product and pitch those to a network. And that's sort of the approach I took with Adult Swim. Is I made the first episode of Swams, and then I pitched it to them, and they're like, "Yeah, hell yeah, we want this." And
Nice.
so now I sort of have a different relationship than I normally would if they had produced it from the beginning.
Holy mackerel. Oh man, I think I just lost my camera. Hold on one second. I'll be right back, guys. Keep asking questions.
I mean, it could, yeah, we could just animate you in. That might be fun. And then people can see the whole process, how long it actually takes. I think it would be good. But like, yeah, I'm really impressed. Like, I like it. And I think that there's definitely going to be a place where networks in general recognize the ability to incorporate these NFTs. Like, authentication wise too, like I think it's nice because now you're putting this on the blockchain and it's provably yours, right? Like it's provably your creation, or at least we know like the time and the date that goes on there. So I'm just kind of curious, like at what point did you move from like being a traditional animator, a traditional artist, into like realizing that like NFTs and blockchain, that's where you needed to be?
About a year ago, like during lockdown, I stopped building props for Broadway because Broadway shut down, and I was like full-time homeschooling my kids, and I was just trying to find some activity to stay producing work and keep my mind sort of leveled. And so I just started making all these little pieces, and then I saw, like, I'd been following people for a couple of years, or for a while on Instagram, and then seeing him finally do his like first drop, and then I was like, holy crap! Like, you could essentially make entire films and find a way to, you know, produce them and drop them, and this could be like the answer to self-producing these films, which we struggle to like keep a 9-to-5 job and then come home at the end of the day and try to make these films when you're exhausted, or
Right.
you know, try to pitch them, and then, you know, like Nickelodeon, for example, they never said yes, but they never said no, and they just went quiet on me for forever. And you know, like that's just, that experience is so exhausting. It's like you're so stressed out, you pitch these ideas, and then sometimes you just never even get an answer. It's like, well,
Right.
come on. Like what is
Aw.
it?
Yeah, you spend more time trying to track like where the paper is and whose desk is sitting on than you do
Right.
actually doing your craft. And like we've noticed this with the Yoshi drops as well. Like a lot of artists that are coming to us, they're like, "Holy shit! Like that's it. That's all you need. Now we can like make music. Now we can do shit, right?" And it's like I totally get it, right? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So you're in New York?
I am, well, outside of New York, yeah.
Cool. Are you going to be at NFT NYC or anything like that?
I think I'll be wandering around in the area, but I didn't
Cool.
plan on doing anything.
I hope I see you. That'll be really fun.
That'd be
I didn't
sick.
know you were in New York.
Yep.
That's really cool. You're a cool person.
Thank you.
Just because he's in New York. Jesus, man.
No.
New Yorkers just
No, because his series is amazing. His art
Yeah.
is amazing. Like he's
Yeah,
so
it
talented.
is.
I've been following him for so long, and now I'm like fangirling over here. Like this is crazy. I
Right,
love
totally.
his art. And I
guarantee you can get a free burger. I guarantee you can get a free burger if you meet Miss Crypto. She'll definitely take you for the best burger and pizza.
You know I will. And we'll go to the Krispy Kreme in Times Square. You know, if you go after hours, there is a 24-hour hot window, so you get it hot at 3 a.m.
There you go.
There you go.
That's awesome. So everyone go check out robertbohnart.com. That's where you can go check out his stuff. He is going to be at the Waxoween this weekend with some special pieces that we were showing some of them. So go definitely check it out. And go check out Swams and everything else he does. He's an amazing artist, man. So we're going to move on to Ornez next, man. Ornez has some crypto ravers coming up. Before I do, real quick, guys, let me just tell you, anybody that's in the chat, if I can bring up my screen. I lost my screen now, too. Hold on one second.
Can you follow me for a second? Because my wife is...
Okay, we're not going to talk to Ornez. Ornez is on hold. So... we're going to talk to Punktavian. But Punktavian, before we get going, everyone in the YouTube chat, type in #Morbs. You'll be entered to win some giveaways. I have, I'm actually going to give away a bones head that I have in my inventory, and then also some other stuff I have somewhere in there. So.
I'm putting my name in there too because I want.
Yeah, put your name in because I've won at least 3 times already. Doing this, so it's a cool thing. But
where do I go? #Morbs.
#Morbs. Just type it in. It automatically enters you in to win. So it makes it super easy. And let's get over to, where's Punktavian at? Where are you at? Where did I put you? There you go. Roman Punks.
I'm here somewhere.
There you are, Punktavian. Welcome back, my friend. How are you doing?
Thank you, BC. Appreciate it. Doing great.
Oh, I got some of those.
Yes, these are great. Yeah, they're awesome.
Ooh,
These are also in Waxoween as well. And also, Miss Teen Crypto, I put your zombie pieces in the maze. So as you go around the shining maze, you can see Miss Teen Crypto's pieces as well. So,
oh my gosh. Hey, Hollow Teen.
Yeah, exactly. So, Punktavian, tell me what's going on with Roman Punks. You have some stuff going on here.
Well, I was listening to Bones talk about how he's a filmmaker and he's using NFTs as a way to bankroll his independent projects. And well, we come from that same camp, but rather than film, we're looking to produce stories, comic books, and video games. So,
nice.
Coming from that angle, Roman Punks is the first cyberpunk derivative set in a Roman setting. So it's basically cyberpunk in a Roman theme. It's retro futuristic. So,
Nice.
You've got all sorts of crazy stories going on that are set in ancient Rome and alternate universes. There's aliens, there's zombies, there's Planet of the Apes stuff going on. And we've basically laid out an entire patchwork of basically world building. I was inspired when I don't know if you've ever heard of the Expanse series.
Yes.
Well, the authors, James Corey, it's actually 2 guys. One of them is the writer and the other one of them is the world builder. And so you build the world before you write the story. And that's kind of where I'm coming from, and that's sort of where, Gene Roddenberry and the Star Trek universe started out, is they conceptualize the universe, they conceptualize the people in it, and then they build the stories around them. And so that's where we're coming from. So we started out by throwing up 1,000 characters on ETH. We've got about 700 done so far.
Wow.
They're not self-minted. It's old school style where we put them up on OpenSea and you find the ones you like and you grab them. Nice. And then after they're all 1,000 minted, we're going to pull it off chain, pull it on to an ERC 721 ourselves.
Very cool.
But basically, is like we got 1,000 characters. They're all 1/1. My wife Cleopatra is the artist, so
I love that.
Next time we'll have to have her on the show. She's busy minting and cooking right now, so she couldn't be here at this moment. We're a multitask household, and so these 1,000 characters are our children, and we basically have lined them up, and there's different classes and there's different nationalities and races that they all come from, so that we can use that and build a world around it. Now, it's not just us building the world. This is where the community aspect of blockchain comes in. In our Discord, we've got a great community of people that's growing at a sustainable rate, where people come in and they own a Roman punk, and then they want to build the character themselves. They can. So we're a collaborative, community-based project where people can contribute to the story in the universe.
Nice.
So, you know, that's one of the incentives to being, you know, one of the owners of the ETH pieces, is that you have that Roman punk that is yours, and you can contribute into building the story behind that character
Very
if you
cool.
wish.
Well, that's super cool.
Now, I'm curious how that works. Like, I'm kind of old. You wouldn't know it because I'm young. But you know, when I was a kid, what one of the things that was really famous when I was a kid were these like choose your own adventure books, and you would get this book, and it would say like, if you want to slay the dragon, turn to page 96. If you want to run away and scream, like turn to page 32, and if you want to sit down and eat a hamburger and watch the show, turn to page like 11, right? And so like, are you guys, when you're talking about building the storyline and building it out from these characters, are you talking about like a multiple choice type of gig, or is it something more? Because I'm kind of curious as a writer how that would work, and how we can, you know, how people could be enabled to participate.
100%. I mean, just, you know, I'm old too. Yeah, so I do remember those few choose your own adventure books. So when they first came out, and I still love them. And that is not essentially what we're planning to do at first. Although, you know, there's an idea, someone who's listening, maybe, you know, get on that, right? But what we're doing is we're building up the character stories through a wiki. So people will come into the Discord, and there'll be a channel for building the character stories up. So if someone is interested in developing their character and building a backstory around it, what we do is we offer certain settings. Okay, well, these are some certain story arcs that you can build your character out of. You can include your character into these different story arcs that we outline. So essentially, we're the guiding hand. It's not just complete free reign. People will come and they want to build their story up. We work with them to do that. It's not just like you have this story, you build it, and then you free reign. It's, you know, it's supervised, it's organized, it's facilitated by us, and it's done through a wiki. So we'll have the characters. You build your backstory of the characters, and then we'll have the settings, and we'll build up the settings, and then how the characters incorporate and intermix with each other. So it's basically a group effort, but it's not just complete, you know, free will to do what you want. And the actual story itself comes after the characters have been structured more, as I said earlier, right? I mean, it's our goal to be building comic books and to be building up actual stories sometime, you know, later next year, which is in the roadmap. So, you know, we have the next number of months to be really formulating who these characters are, who the main ones are, who the supporting ones are, who are the main protagonists and antagonists, etc., in these different story arcs. You know, the great thing is it's just like, well, we have this universe that we've set. We can build as many story arcs as we want. Like, there's one of our NFTs is like a Canadian Mountie with a beaver. Like, okay, well, then there's an entire comic book that is based around this character that is in some like weird Canadiana, you know, wilderness setting that it happens to have a portal into ancient Rome. So, you know, that could be an entire book based around that one character.
Can I just say that Canadian Mounties and beavers are underrated? And if I was a Canadian Mountie, I would definitely have a beaver as a pet. I just want to say that. Just want to put that out there on the air. I just like, definitely.
Now, Googling how to train a beaver now. That's super cool.
Yeah,
no, I love that. So like the comic book aspect of it, when do you see that possibly becoming something of a reality? When do you think the first one might happen for you guys?
Oh, target for the summer next year. Our inspiration was when, you know, we looked at the PUNKS comics, right? We looked at, like, obviously the CryptoPunks had been a big inspiration for us. We're Roman punk.
Right.
We're not a direct, you know, derivative from CryptoPunks. We're more cyberpunk. But at the same time, you know, CryptoPunk, well, what's happening in the space in the spring, that is what jump-started us and made us realize that, hey, we can make this a reality and we can make this into something.
Right.
And so, you know, when all their alt punks are left, you know, well, we're all the alt punks, right? You know, you ask yourself nowadays.
Yeah.
We like to think of ourselves as the non-alt punks because, you know, what we're doing is something that is unique and different. And hey, when we get to the comics, you'll see them. But for now, I'm not the artist, so you'll have to ask Cleopatra when we get to that, because she's going to be the one who's going to be drawing them frame by frame, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to take a peg out of anyone's, sale or whatever the term is, but like I think that this is kind of where we're headed, and I think this is kind of what needs to happen, right? Like especially in Ethereum, there's so many avatar projects that are launched, like you said, that are just like you buy this thing that's randomized, and then like it just shows up and it just appears and it's in your account, and then this is what you put on all of your social channel statuses. This is the one that I bought, and this is the one that I hope that goes to like $1 million, so that I have the bragging rights behind it, right? But what you guys are doing is something special, because you're actually allowing people to, in a way, be a part of that story and construct that story around their own ideas, number one. And number two, I think what you guys did is really special as well, because like you said, these aren't just randomized. These are actually like done as one of ones that are put out there that people have the chance to go and get. It's something that actually appeals to them, right? Like I when I buy something off the secondary market in terms of an avatar, it's a little bit annoying, because it's like, oh, I want this one, but I don't like this attribute, but this one's cheaper. Like now, just from the get-go, I don't have to worry about what I get. I can actually pick what I want, which is like kind of nice, because I'm the kid that like used to get socks for Christmas, and it used to annoy me because like there was a present there and I wanted to open it, but I knew that it was socks, and it was just like, oh man, like just because it's like, so I want to be able to pick what I want, right? Like I don't want to just get socks because I think I'm buying like some cool avatar. It's a weird random way around it, looking at it, but I think like the freedom of choice to purchase the NFT that you want, as opposed to just some random NFT that people might like or people might not like, I think that's the benefit of what you guys are doing. So I really appreciate that aspect, actually.
Yeah, thanks.
Savage.
Yeah, and then one other thing that's worth mentioning is last time we touched on this as well, Nifty, is that we're developing the characters into voxel versions, because we really do believe that it's going 3D. We're going to all be wearing, a year from now, we're all going to be wearing VR headsets and looking at each other as 3D avatars. Yeah. Fully believe that, right?
Yeah,
so,
well, it's good. I mean, that's happening whether we want it or not, because I mean, Facebook's about to change its name and go completely metaverse here in a second. Yeah. So things are going to get a little different, I think, in the next year or so. So yeah, I definitely think the voxel way to go. And for crying out loud,
what you're saying then is I'm not buying a character. What you're saying is I'm buying a suit that I can get inside and run around in a 3D metaverse. Okay, so I like it. Done.
That's so sick. That would be insane.
Yeah. That's where things are going, even with Sandbox, because like Snoop Dogg is about to release a Sandbox thing, and so like everything's going metaverse. It's definitely,
and that's the one we're working on, Sandbox. We're building a Coliseum.
Nice.
And we've got the full Coliseum up. We're just putting up the window dressings now. And once the Sandbox launches its PvP functionality, we're going to have gladiator battles. So you'll be able to go in there and you'll have the NFT and you can fight against others.
They're supposed to be releasing that somewhat soon, aren't they? Like in the next couple months, right? The PvP ability, right? Which is really
oh my
really
gosh.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, if I lose that gladiator battle, is my character die from the storyline? Am I done? Like, am I out? Like, it's just like my NFT now is a dead man laying on the ground. I want to know, because I think this is really exciting, right? Like, I think.
Yeah. No, let's like choose your own adventure. You can always go back to chapter 1 and try again. Yeah.
Oh man, I lost my camera again. Dang it. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the whole fun about it with Sandbox is it's like, not only is it a place where, okay, you can go play by yourself and, go into this 3D world and, do quests, but it's also a place where like, oh, we can have our meetings there. Like we can have our Roman punk, we can have light a fire and be like, like pray to Jupiter and do whatever like Roman punks do, in our Sandbox meta space. So
I'm a bit of a historian. This is a history philosophy, and I was just thinking, like, imagine like when we were kids, because like we're a little bit older, some of us. Imagine like we were kids and we were having this conversation like outside, some like mall. Yeah, like we can just go play by ourselves in the sandbox, and like this is gonna be really fun. Like we can develop all these things. Like, dude, we would so get arrested, right? Like, what are you talking about? But now it's like common practice, right? And I think it's really interesting. So I want to look at this now. Are there any disadvantages to us going completely online? Are there anything that like you're thinking about? Because you're developing almost, I don't want to say like the characters that you're putting together, I think are going to really appeal to kids, like to the younger generation.
Yes.
And they've got some teachable moments potentially in there as well. So like, what are the things that like, should we be worried about any of this kind of stuff? Sorry, I don't mean to like, I've just realized I've turned this whole discussion into a negative type of thing, but like I'm kind of curious about this, right? Like, you know, one of my favorite shows, you know, some of my favorite shows were like docudramas that were released that taught about like, you know, Roman history or the ancient Greeks, or like Rome was a great one. It wasn't necessarily historically accurate, but I can see a place where like some of these NFT projects will actually be used in educational settings, which to me is exciting. And so I'm just kind of curious, like, are there any dangers to this, that you can see?
Well, I've more opportunity than there is danger. I mean, like obviously there's danger to the fact that everyone's going to be sitting behind a screen and not going outdoors and walking and getting enough vitamin D. I think that, you know, there's danger in that, but I think, you know, for the opportunity, especially from an educational point of view, is limitless. You know, like I do come from a teaching background. I've worked as an educator, and to see this as an opportunity to be able to build a space where you can gamify learning and actually inspire kids in a way where they feel like they're not necessarily learning. Because like I would play Civilization when I was 10, you know, Civilization 1, you know, I would just sit there for hours and play that and learn from it, and learn, you know, all about the science and the history. So, well, this is an opportunity where you can do the same thing, but because it's becoming such, you know, more extensive, it's not just the geeks and the nerds that are doing this anymore. It can be the teachers in school that are doing it. In fact, it can be your school. So, you know, to put on the headset and to go jump into a classroom and you're learning about history, and then you go into another one, you're learning about science, and you have your avatar and everything, you know, there's way more opportunity than I think there is danger in that.
Yeah.
Right. And I like that you brought that up, because I did my whole postgraduate thesis on education, and my whole thesis was basically that the education system is broken. It doesn't teach you anything good in the real world. We spend our whole time sitting there learning from textbooks. Now imagine this, imagine a history class where you each have your own rental Roman punk that you can step into in a virtual 3D world, and you can run around and reenact these historical things, right? And people are going to say, no, you can't do that. But you're sitting in a classroom doing absolutely nothing, staring at a white wall, a textbook with math in anyway, right? Like there is some serious definite potential.
And also what's important is that a lot of the books that have been written, you know, because the political landscape is always changing, right? We want to look at history from an irreverent point of view. We don't want to say like, oh, you know, of course, they had slaves and all this stuff. It's terrible. We don't want to acknowledge that as being like, oh, you know, we're studying history to learn what not to do, right? We're studying history. So we're doing it in like, oh, it's a Roman punk. It's an irreverent thing where it's like, yeah, it was all terrible. And our punks are characters that were trying to break out of this like horrible situation that they were in. Historically speaking, like we're inspired by William Gibson and all these authors in the 80s that were writing, you know, from a point of view that we're like an anti-capitalist, anti-establishment sort of literary perspective. And we look at the same sort of situation, you know, through history and saying that our characters are in this world where they're trying to break out of this, you know, oppressive regime.
Now, Misty and Crypto, I don't know if you liked history or not, but imagine this. You're sitting in a classroom, you know, a couple years ago, and your teacher, you know, had seen the light because of you, had decided, you know, to invest in blockchain and cryptocurrency because of you, and then poured it over to like NFTs and found this scenario whereby they could put you into this suit, and like you would feel the pain through electroshock or getting, you know, or dying in the classroom. Like how much does that change your perspective of learning history? Obviously, I'm going a little bit over the top, but
I mean, just like getting physically harmed. I don't know, but
I'm
Like,
not
It's
even
not.
ready.
It's not a
I
physical
feel-
harm. It's like sticking your.
For you said potentially dying, Jimmy.
Right?
It's
No,
like
no.
the
I
people's,
mean, like, I
commercials
don't
on
mean
TV.
your. I don't mean your
No.
dying. I mean, like, your
You-
character's
you-
dying, right?
It's like
you
it
gotta
sounds
be
like on
rewarded.
TV where like they have like those medicines that are like really good, like they're like are gonna solve one problem, but then as they continue with the
Yeah.
commercial, like there's
Yeah.
like fear of death, fear of like everything. I
Right.
feel like that's what you just did, but but you know. My history teacher last year, not a few years ago, making me feel old, but last year he hated crypto. So it's like really funny that we're talking about history teachers because as we were talking about it, I was like thinking back to how much my teacher hated crypto. And it was only because he didn't understand it either. And towards the end of the year, he's like, yeah, just so you could hide your money from the government or something.
Oh,
I don't even
man.
know what he was saying. They all thought like Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme. And then at the end of the year, they were emailing me, how do you
That's
buy
right.
Bitcoin? It's
Yeah,
really
of course.
fun. But I really love, the educational factor. Like, it doesn't always have to be about, the gains, the flip. You're learning about history while, learning how to take place in a digital economy, if that makes sense. If you're buying into Roman punks, you're now learning how to take part in being a part of someone else's store, and you're also creating your own like storyline. That is a very unique utility that I haven't seen yet, and I feel like a lot of Gen Z would really respond well to that, especially if there's utility where we're gonna be in VR, because that's the next big thing. I mean, I try to hold weekly VR meetups with my friend Jerome in Altspace and play blockchain games because that's where people are headed. And like this talk show one day will not be on YouTube. We're gonna be in virtual reality. I was literally having a talk show last night. It was I forgot what it was called. I think it was called Max Diamond or something like that. It was like the top show on Altspace, and it was like a whole set, and there were chairs, there was an audience.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful, and I really feel like that would actually boost the morale of the show because everyone in our YouTube chat would be able to show reactions like hearts, claps, like wave their hands if they agree or like just something. It's really the future. I went on a little bit of a tangent here, but I'm just very
I'm with you.
That's
I'm
okay.
totally
I
with
kind
you.
of set you up for that. I think I said I would never go back to school, but I might just have to go back now just to write this. Anyway, go ahead, TC.
you should.
I have 3 kids, 16, 13, and 7. And I don't know what it's like, what the breakthrough moment for them is going to be to realize like what the potential of all of this technology is. But I think definitely like the teachers are going to be a big part of it if the teachers get on board, and definitely like the gaming, because they're so hooked into the games that they're going to need like that. Something has to be a turning point because
100%.
Exactly, because the thing is education, and I'm sure your kids feel the same way, especially your 16-year-old seeing the transition of being, through the Common Core, all these textbooks, because New York is like so annoying with all the testing that they put us through. But I think the turning moment will be when she could, I don't know if it's your son or your daughter, but either way, your child will have that breakthrough moment when they see what they can do. And how they could take part in this space. At the beginning, I didn't think I could take part in this space. I didn't understand. I just heard numbers and money things, like adult things. Then I did a Bitcoin transaction, and that's when it changes. Like, one place to another. Like, you could word it as like, you're spending money on buying songs on iTunes, but you can't transfer it to anybody else. Your kids probably bought an iBook they needed for school, but were they able to trade that book to their friend or to their, like, I had my little sister, she needed a book I read a few years ago. I couldn't transfer it to her. NFTs change all that.
Yeah,
especially when their favorite musicians drop albums as NFTs. That's when it's going to hit too.
I see in a couple of years, actually, you're going to get a report card that's an NFT that is on the blockchain that certifies that you got those grades. I think that a lot lot of that stuff's going to turn
You
into
cannot
utility.
change the grades now.
Exactly. It's going to
That's a bad
be
thing.
forever on the blockchain, Like, you won't be able to go home and try to like hack into the computer and try to change your grades. It won't be able to
some
be
of those
done.
report cards will be minted and some will be burned.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
right.
They're going to be
100%.
non-burnable, non-transferable.
Exactly.
They're going to send it to your parents' wallet that you won't have the keys to, and then you're going to be like, oh, poop. Yeah, that's gonna be dicey. I feel bad for those kids. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
for
even
sure.
option of hiding it for a week, you know? Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
stuffing it in
already
your
difficult when things are like real time and you can see the grades like day by day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
On
one
the
day you're
school
failing,
websites.
one day you're passing. It's like,
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
My daughter.
Right, you're trying to write a test. You look out the window, and your
dad's.
dad's standing there like this.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
me. Like,
'cause-
I'm all like, why does it say this grade? And she's like, they haven't put in the grades yet, Dad. They haven't put in the grades yet. So,
yeah,
I
no,
know.
it's so tricky, and some parents get notified about certain grades. It's too easy for parents. Like, and if you get one bad grade, it brings your whole average down. So, it's bad to watch it. You know, it's like you're addicted to watch. It's like watching the charts, but you're like on your own performance in school. It's like so bad.
See, personally, I went the other way. Like, I set the bar really low, and then when I got a good grade, it brought my whole, perception.
No,
That's
the
the
way to
route
go
that I
at it.
took.
That's the way to go at it right there.
But I like it. CryptoPunks, I think. Sorry, is
Roman Punks.
Roman
Roman
Punks. Sorry,
Punks.
Is I think a really cool adaptation to what we've seen in the NFT space, and I think it's just really cool that like artists and teachers are able to create a lifestyle that enables what they wanted to do, what they wanted to see, right? And like I know you said you're a teacher, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the background and how this was designed and the way that it was put together and the storylines in the background and things like that. And I think that that's just really interesting that we're in this place, we're in this space where it's not really defined, right? Like there, it's not a 9-to-5 job in a sense.
Yeah.
Where your role is defined. Your role is being defined as you, as a player, as an actor in this space. And I think it's really interesting that you're passing along that kind of dynamic to the people who are buying into CryptoPunks and
multiple
with this
people
whole
live
NFT.
multiple personalities now, right? Like you don't just have
Yes.
your one avatar. Like you can have multiple avatars, multiple personalities in multiple
that's so dope.
spaces. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
So go definitely check this out, guys. It's romanpunks.io. Go check it out and go pick them up. And they're also, another thing I wanted to say, not only is the storyline on your stuff is really good, the actual project was set up right for collectors. So I wanted to bring this up. So you guys have a moving floor, which is really nice for the collectors that get in early.
Right.
So definitely pay attention to that as well, guys, because this will help you later on, especially as more people get into the punks. This is a very
So
nice
dope.
looking sliding scales. Very good, man. So
I like the colors in the art too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of good things that are gonna catch your eye. Like very nice, loving it.
Thanks.
Right.
I'll make sure and let Cleo Punctra know, and she's definitely the queen of color.
Yay.
Color matching is one of the most not thought about things, but it's one of the most important when you're putting together
Yes.
your
it is.
Right.
pieces, right? So
Like
yeah.
when I scroll through OpenSea or wherever I'm looking for NFTs, like whatever like is colorful catches my eye is what I'm gonna like take the time to look at. Like these are all just very nice. Like I really like them.
Thank you. Yeah, and then you can see here some of the pieces have stories behind them. Some of them are just seemingly random characters. But there's only 1,000. So get them before they're gone.
Get those before they're gone, people. So romanpunks.io, go get them. And Punktavian, thank you again for coming in and telling us always more
Anytime.
about the Roman Punks. I want you back at all times to let us know what's happening with the Roman Punks, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hey, really quick, guys, I'm going to do a quick giveaway real quick. We're going to do a giveaway for the Senior Lupe Halloween Laser Eyes NFT.
Dope.
So someone's going to get that. Let's see who's going to get it.
The intensity of waiting
Ooh,
for your
yeah.
NFT.
TC! I'll send it to you after the show, TC. It's yours, man. I will send it to you. So that's the first one. We have some more coming, guys. So that was the first one. But let's get on over to Ordonez, because Ordonez had to step out for a second, but he's back to talk about crypto ravers. So tell us about crypto ravers, Ordonez.
Hey guys, thanks for having me again. Sorry for before. My wife is a little bit sick and I had to help her.
Oh, no worries. I hope she feels better, man.
Hope she's better.
So yeah, we just launched Crypto Ravers. the idea is to combine electronic music with some little characters, like pixel characters, and create NFTs with music. You know, like I've been making music for like, I don't know, like 15 years or something.
Wow.
And I've been doing really good, but not good like in the economic side of things. You know, like I've been releasing music in Spotify and stuff. I have millions of plays, and I get shit money for that.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Spotify doesn't pay out the biggest commissions.
Are you going to
always,
release
do they?
any of your songs as NFTs?
There are like the idea with this crypto raver thing. It's like you get all the parts, you get the individual parts of the track, and then you blend them together. Like say you get 4 kicks, and then you blend them together, and you get the kick loop, and then you blend the loops together, and then you get the track. And in the end, the ones that have the track that I'm gonna show you now, like when you get this, can you
Which one?
accept my?
Oh yeah. Are you sharing your screen?
No, I sent you like a video, and you can accept
Let's
the
see.
show. With
Oh yeah, let's see. Is it the collection, the Soul Sea collection one?
No, in damn.
Telegram.
It's like sharing the screen.
Oh, share screen. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that. 1 second. Let me stop sharing this one.
So this is the NFT that it has a piece of the track. So
awesome, man.
This is the NFT, but it's difficult to add the whole track. It's not difficult, but it's too heavy, and it will be a pain in the ass. So when you get this one, you will get an airdrop of the entire track, like the complete track, and also for the people that are collecting several of them, you will get an exclusive DJ mix that has all four tracks of this collection. This collection contains 2 tracks by Frey Boitar and 2 tracks by me. So I will make a special set that will be airdropped to the collectors of these music NFTs. So it's really cool. It's hard to promote because most people don't ever like press the sound on.
Sound on the NFT. I know they should do that.
Do you have a
autoplay,
player
you know?
that they can play on?
Yep.
Is there a player that you know of? Have you looked into a player that you can play on your phone for this music?
No, I think I remember this guy from. Do you know Jose from Roar?
Yeah, he has his Winamp player. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a Winamp player that you. But
put on your phone.
Is,
it won't work on your phone though.
Yeah,
so
the thing is,
look into Taco.
I was going to say Taco works, right, TC?
Yeah.
Taco.
Yep.
Yeah, I sent you the information you should send to him.
Yeah,
and get his music on Taco.
Yeah, let me put up.
Yeah,
Taco.
go Taco.
Cool.
Let me go find that.
Yeah,
right.
I pretty much play your one song every day. Mello can contest to it. It's all I play, that one song when I'm in Minecraft. Just on repeat all day long.
Awesome.
That will be really cool. Yeah. Also, I don't know, but the thing is, I kind of get into like what would be best and what the collectors will want, because I was also thinking about uploading these ones to Audios. Have you heard about Audios?
I've heard about that. What's going on with that, Ornez? I heard somebody else talking about that.
Well, Audios is basically trying to be the Spotify for the blockchain. It's on Solana, and it's going to like pay 90% of the royalties to the artists instead, like a few cents. That like Spotify pays you a 4th part of a cent per play. So basically, you have to play with millions of plays. You get like $4,000, and then the record label takes half of it,
Right.
So you just get 2,000, and so it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. I haven't done, like, in my entire career, I've made like maybe $1,000 on Spotify, because I have to like
why even bother? Why even bother?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, music, basically music right now, it's like promoting your music, trying to get as much people as you can to hear it, and then getting booked. So basically, the pandemic got fucked the entire music industry, because we only live of gigs now.
Right.
So
why not do 99-cent music? You know, sell 1,000 of them or 10,000 of them. Like, what's stopping you from doing that?
No, the thing is, you can make it, but people won't pay it. Like,
I will.
It's easier. Like, the thing is, it's been really crazy, because when I entered the NFT world, I discovered a bunch of people that it's willing to pay for art, for music and stuff like this. But that's not the case in the real. Like, most of people won't pay shit. Like, basically, everyone will take a YouTube video and they will use a converter and they will make it an MP3, and then boom, you have it. You don't have to pay not even a cent. So that's what most people do.
I think it's interesting when we get into the crypto space when it comes to music, because we've noticed this in Yoshi Drops. There's a lot of people that are willing to pay artists and musicians a lot of money, but I think that this is a little bit tilted. It's like making money in a bull market in crypto, right? Like, everyone thinks they're a genius. So every artist that comes into crypto, they're being a little bit pampered right now because they're able to sell and market their own goods, right? So I think you bring up a really valid point, Ordonez. When we get to that point, there's going to be a tipping point where new people are coming into the system that might not want to pay. But on that side of that, I think that the selling point is ownership, right? Like, a lot of people say, oh, why would I download this NFT when I can just look at a picture on the internet, right? Well, you don't own it, right? So you're not invested in the artist. And I think one of the things that we've noticed with some of the projects that we're working with, especially when it comes to musicians, is the fact that you can actually incentivize ownership through like special drops and different curation mechanisms that like only people who have been to that show or have bought into that NFT will be. So like, I do understand where you're coming from, but I think that there's a balancing point, and I think it's really cool that we're going to decide where that is. I'm not really sure at what point people will decide that they're not going to pay that 99 cents. I think it's all about incentivization and where we're coming from. But yeah, like, I mean.
Yeah, it's definitely the ownership of the song, because, you know, like, buying a song on iTunes is like, you know, just so like old school compared to what
terrible.
Like, compared to like what this is. Like, you know, you buy a song on iTunes, you pay $2.99 to listen to the full 2-minute song and not just the 30-second chorus. And you can't trade it off. I can't like listen to that song, overplay it, not want to hear it again, and send it to my sister so she can listen to it too. Like, that's not a possibility. And I don't know how many copies are out there. Like, you know, if I held an old vinyl record that, you know, there's not a lot of, that has value because it's a physical, tangible item, then there's a round ballpark of how many could be in circulation at this point. But if you just buy a song on iTunes, you don't get that. But if it's an NFT...
What about doing some kind of licensing thing? Like, I want to make a bunch of uplift videos. I want music. Like, if I could pay for an NFT license from you to use your music, I will pay that because I'm looking for music.
Exactly. There's so many projects giving utility where you could get like the copyright.
Like, that's one of the like the things that are like musicians can live off, but at the end is something that it's not what you like. It's really hard to find people like you, for instance, that will be willing to pay for one of my tracks and not a custom made one, like a custom made for a video commercial, you know. So in the end, I have a bunch of friends that were like really top producers in the electronic music scene, and then they ended up making music for PlayStation or for something, but because of was a business, you know, not because they like it. They liked it to make house music, to make music for the clubs, to play it. But in the end, it's not a business, as I said. Like, if you make $1,000 in 10 years, it's not doable, you know. So in the end, a lot of people end up doing. If you keep on music, you try to make stuff for commercials and stuff like this.
Right.
Or maybe even there's a bunch of people making music for other producers. So, there's some influencer guys that have millions of followers and they want to be DJs. So they don't know shit about making music. You make music for them. They release it with their names and they become famous because they have all the followers, and they will pay you like $700 or something to make the track for them.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff like this happening in the music industry. So yeah, the NFT world is crazy, is amazing. I hope it's still. I think, in my opinion, it still needs to catch up a little bit with music, because I don't feel like people usually take into consideration the music side of NFTs.
Yeah.
I was talking with this guy from Bad Days the other day as well, and he also mentioned that they told him like, hey, that song is really great. Hey, but you have the NFT, it's there. You like they didn't even realize it, that the NFT have the track on it, and it was from our Yoshi drop, thing with the X-Men kind of.
Yeah.
There definitely seems to be like an issue with organization with your NFTs that make some more desirable than others. I think, I have music in my collection, but like you're not going to scroll through and find the track and then listen to it.
Yeah, it still needs. Yeah, especially like in Wax, you don't have like a music, like a special category for music NFTs. So you don't do that. Like there's some like Ken Bosak always tells me to check out. It's Phantom or something like that.
Ghost Market.
Ghost Market, yeah.
Yeah, they use.
He says that one is really good for musicians and stuff. So I think I don't know, the market right now, it's more about visual stuff. That's why I added the crypto raver guys to make it more appealing, like in the visual kind of stuff. But I hope in the future I guess in the future every marketplace will add a category for the audio stuff, so you can browse like in OpenSea. I think you can browse for the audio NFTs and stuff like that. So that will be cool. Also, as DC said, like some player that allows you to play all your NFTs, that will be really cool as well.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I think
I'd be buying music left, right, and center.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing that coming as well. I think it's more of a ticket stub thing that I see the NFT market working for bands and DJs and that kind of stuff in the long term. More is that you're buying in on say a track or something, but it's not necessarily the track you're buying into. You're buying into that artist that then gives you the benefits of discounts on disc, live concerts, that kind of stuff, merchandise. But, more than anything, I think the bigger thing of it is that what I see is the social media aspect coming more into the NFT space, where there's you would have an audio thing on your actual profile that you can click, and that would have all your NFTs just playing on a little radio player, kind of like that Winamp kind of thing. And I think that we need some sort of crypto radio station that just plays like on Atomic Hub or Nifty. If you just had something on the top, you can play while you browse, that would be great. And then you can click, I want to buy that track. You click it and you can buy it. I don't know.
That's kind of where Audios is aiming for. Like you can upload your tracks for free. It doesn't cost anything. You just upload them, and then people can hear it, and then you can like sell them as NFTs, and you can also have the app that essentially works like Spotify, so you can like have a playlist and listen to music, and it's really cool because you also get to hear music that it's unique. Because for instance, for me to upload, like I made a bootleg of some really famous tracks or whatever. I cannot do it. I cannot upload it to Spotify, or I will get sued.
Right.
But Audios doesn't have that problem. So So it's really cool.
Somebody should make a music app that plays NFTs, and if you listen long enough, they'll spit out an NFT.
Totally. So the drop again is when, on the 14th, right?
No, the drop already happened,
right?
like a couple of weeks, last week, I think. But since Ecuador started making events again, so I've been super busy DJing, and I didn't have time to promote it that much. So I'm trying to do it now. I have a bunch of DJ gigs next week also, and then next week, and then I'm traveling to Peru again to play. So I'm trying to enjoy all these gigs again.
Don't worry, you're end up going to get gigs inside Uplift. People are going to pay you to be a DJ inside Uplift.
That will be great.
That's coming.
Especially now with my little kid, is like I don't feel like leaving home that much, you know. Before it was like I will leave like a month to Mexico and play there and enjoy like the beach and whatever. Right. Now I live like for a weekend, and then I'm like, okay, I want to go back home. I'm trying to come as soon as I can.
How old is your little one?
She's gonna be 2 years in December.
Nice. Fun times too. Yeah, you definitely want to be there around those years too. You know. I guess.
Yeah. That's one thing. What good thing about the pandemic, I guess. I had all this time to spend with her, watch her grow up, and not be away for that much time.
That's so cool. And so, hey, tell me about these 69 Pussycats too. While I have this.
So the thing is, where I was working with Casanova. He's an Ecuadorian artist as well. Is part of the Galeria, and we decided to put this one on Soulsea. It's like there's 69 cats. Each one is unique, hand drawn, and it's like an avatar project, but not the regular avatar project when you get the same thing like with different attributes. Right. Each one of these is unique. It's on Solana, and we just got verified, so I'm really happy with that. Nice. I guess more people will be able to see, and we also have an upcoming Casanova, like the second series on Wax as well. First one was really successful, so I hope the second one it's gonna be good as well.
Was he the same artist for the Cute as Fuck pack that you guys had?
No, the Cute as Fuck, it's from a Peruvian artist called Jorge.
Got you.
Yeah, I've been working with several artists. I also have another collection coming from a guy that's called Ese Pancho, which is an Ecuadorian artist as well. So that's the other part of my project, you know, like helping all these people that have never heard about cryptocurrency. It's you can imagine how hard it's to get cryptocurrency in Ecuador. I have accounts in every single exchange, and I never was able to buy it from Ecuador. I had to use the money that I have from royalties and send that to a friend in Germany, he bought the cryptocurrency for me.
Wow.
So you can't buy at all any crypto in Ecuador?
No, I think you can with one bank. I heard some friends of mine could buy some with one bank, but I have cards from 3 banks. I tried them all, and all of them are blocked for like cryptocurrency.
Wow.
Yeah, and I tried Binance and Coinbase, and Bittrex and KuCoin and Kraken and like everything, man. Like even some of them that you have to pay like 20% taxes or whatever, and even those weren't available. So it was a pain in the ass. So most of people in my country and in similar countries like Peru, Colombia, and some other countries in South America, like other than the fact that most people consider crypto scam, it's not so easy to do. It's not so easy,
Right.
even if you're like I've been 24/7 doing this for a long time, and I ended up like I gave up on buying cryptocurrency because it was so hard. I ended up just like telling my friend to help me with it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
really
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, that's going on there. And then at the last, I can't remember what game it was, or some basketball game. They gave out on the ticket a scannable QR code for an NFT on FTX. So they're already starting. So they're already starting to bring this to the mainstream, and that's how it's going to start to happen, I think, too. So it's weird that there's still some countries that won't even allow you to buy crypto yet.
Yeah, meanwhile in El Salvador, Bitcoin is their
exactly. It's
national
their currency, you know. So it's
some countries, like the thing is, most of South America has been under like a socialist regimen for like the last 10 or 15 years or 20 years, and most of them are really, you know, like Venezuela. It's on, like, if you go out in Ecuador and you go and see, if you see homeless people on the stop lights, it's people from Venezuela. They fled all over the South American continent because they cannot have any works. Their coin doesn't worth shit. Like if you have I don't remember the name of the coin, but my friend went there for vacation, and he changed it like $100, and they gave him a backpack full of money.
Oh my god,
that was $100.
Yeah, I've seen some news stories about it, like where it's just like the money is just, you know, it's useless. You know, it's just
it's useless.
You know, a suitcase of money is worth nothing. You know.
Yeah, I saw some other guy like pay a beer with something like this size.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Remember in the movies, like from like, you know, the last century, in the movies when you used to watch it, and a backpack full of money like would buy you shit? Like that's not always the case.
Right, totally. Right. Now it buys you a big gulp, maybe.
It'll buy you like the worst computer in Best Buy.
Right, totally.
Oh, right.
You can find a bag of money there, and it probably can get you like a soda or something.
Oh man,
that's insane.
It's crazy, and a lot of people were going that road. Like a lot of countries were going that road, but luckily we kind of saved ourselves this last year. Actually, that was one of the reasons why I started also keeping my money in crypto, because we were just like this close, like to keep on the socialist regimen. So I didn't want to have money here, because in the end they can say like, hey, this is not yours anymore, we take it here, and you cannot do anything.
There's some safety in that, it seems like, too, in crypto, you know, especially for some countries that have the kind of bizarre kind of financial stuff happening with the government, you know. So yeah, I mean,
that's crazy, because like when you see, I was checking the other day some YouTube video, and the main adoption of cryptocurrency occurs in countries that have like Venezuela. Venezuela is one of the top 10 countries with the crypto adoption, because everyone uses like Robinhood, and they're like buying Doge and Shiba and stuff like that, and they keep their money safe there. Like it's safer than having actual
in a
currency.
bank, right? Exactly. And now that you have like Punktavian said, you have El Salvador that accepts it as an actual currency. It's like, you know, I'm pretty sure that will become a
actually Brazil is applying
thing,
for.
You know?
Brazil is it's sending out like a proposal to the Congress to make a Bitcoin legal tender as well.
Oh, that'd be great.
Wow.
And Brazil is huge, man. That's a big economy. El Salvador, it's small.
Wow. Interesting, man. Interesting. And when you DJ, where do you DJ mainly? What areas do you go to? All over South America, United States? Where do you usually go?
I've been all over. Like I've been in South America, not that much actually. Just in Peru.
Right.
But I've been in Mexico, in the States, and I went to Amsterdam, Barcelona,
cool.
Berlin, I was doing good before the pandemic. Then everything kind of stopped.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that work in the, not only that are musicians, but are actually the stage crews and all that stuff too. And
Yeah.
it's been real hard for everybody, man. The last couple of years, it really threw a wrench into things, and it's still throwing a wrench into things now because, venues now require a lot of like vaccination stuff and everything else. It makes it even more difficult. But hopefully it'll get better, man. Hopefully all that stuff picks up, in the next year. Well, awesome, man. So, thank you very much, man, for letting us know what's going on with the crypto ravers. And real quick, let's do another.
Make sure you check the site.
Yes, for sure. Crypto raver. Let me put it back up. Actually, where did I put it? Here it is.
I sent you the drop link. Also.
Yeah, I put it in YouTube earlier. I'm going to post it again really quick right now. So if you're in the YouTube chat, you can go check it out.
Somebody to Jordan, Mr. Jordan was asking what's the name of the project. It's called Audios. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna text it in the chat.
Where he says that? Where it is?
And Matt mentioned something about Kate having some kind of a music license. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Morton, you mentioned Kate. Kate
seems to be the place to go for any kind of smart contract stuff, man.
I would give them a chat.
Yeah, they have also music, like a player. Then you get. I have one track there. I think they have like this world map, and you can go to each country and you can play like different music from the artists that are in that country. Yeah, it looks really cool. I was testing, but I forgot to see how it was doing.
Right. Well, cool, man. So check out Audius. It's Audius. He just put it in the YouTube chat, I believe. So
yeah, I just put it as well.
Yeah, so go check that out. And I just want to do another quick giveaway, really quick, guys. This one is going to be for an OBOT right there. So that was the drop I did last week. So hashtag Morbs in the chat, guys. If you want to hop in on this really quick, I'm going to spin it here in a second. Other things that are happening on Friday, we got Mr. Senor Lupe dropping his Chummies #2. So if you haven't picked up your Chummies, go get your Chummies.
When are you gonna have him on the show?
I've asked him. Now that's I don't know if I can get him on the show. I'm trying to figure out how we could work that out. Maybe he could do it inside Waxoween, and we'll interview him inside Waxoween, so that way he can keep his anonymity secret. But
he needs to have like something that goes over his voice.
Yeah, we got to do something. Maybe we could do like a full like shadowed figure, with like the deep like voice, to make it.
That would be really funny.
That would be kind of funny, So maybe we'll figure that out. But anyway, let me spin this to see who's going to get the OBOT. All right, so let's see who's going to get the OBOT NFT.
Come on, someone on the panel, a second time.
Let's do it. Second time on the panel.
Oh.
Brian C. Bell. All right.
Nice.
And he has a guitar on, so he gets extra points. All right, so cool, man. So Brian, all you have to do is DM me on Twitter @Morbs15 with your Wax ID and take a picture of this or something so I know it's you. And I'll send you out that piece. So thank you guys for that. And other than that, TC, you got some news for us? You updating the Mega Store? What's happening in Uplift, man, for you?
Oh, I've just got into survival mode.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
wait a second. That's news, man.
Yeah, so Mel and I have some plots in London.
Nice.
And I got a whole whack in Chicago and the other one Uplift. Yeah, I'm going to start getting right into survival, and I'm going to start putting portals in there as well.
Very cool. Now,
and the store, plus you can have a store now on your plot
really?
And make up lithium. Yeah.
What?
Crazy. Yeah.
What's up with that? All right, there's too much happening. Blue DAC was happening this week too. So Blue DAC, if you guys haven't heard of the Blue DAC, we'll be talking about that a little bit more on Friday. Yeah. We have a filled show on Friday as well, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Blue DAC. So Blue DAC is doing the swap exchange thing on Alcor with a bunch of different coins, including Miss Teen Crypto, correct? Miss Teen Crypto, aren't you going to do a blue coin thing possibly? Did I hear that? No?
I don't know.
What?
I I don't know.
All right, I didn't hear it. You didn't hear it from me. You didn't hear it from me. But anyway.
But by the way, I wanted to thank TC and his team because they built an amazing gallery for me in the uplift, and I went to visit the other day and it disappeared. And I was like, what the fuck? What happened?
The server is down, right? It was.
Yeah, and then they told me they moved the server, so I have to check it out again. But I've been traveling so much that I couldn't check it out again.
It's up now. It's up now. I just checked.
Do we have to put in a special direct link to go to the servers now that they're on AWS, or can we just go to the website?
So it's back. Yeah, it's back to the old. It's back to the old
style.
I believe.
Where I can just
without the
/server
number
go
2.
wherever. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
so if
awesome.
I might, before we go, I have a couple of things that I want to update people on as well. If you haven't checked it out, go over to Missing Cryptos. I did an interview, and Corey popped in yesterday about our upcoming gratitude sale. We're going to do an estate sale in gratitude, which was kind of our second server. So I'm going to be doing the rounds. Corey's going to be doing the rounds. We're going to be rolling out the information over the next couple of weeks. Slow, painfully, in order to, draw people in. No, seriously, like we're going to be putting some pushes out there. It's going to be really cool. It's the first survival world that was ever put in place on the uplift. Yoshi Drops, from the Yoshi Drops side, Crypto Voxels and a bunch of other metaverses are having from the 29th to the 31st, a metaverse music fest. And if you go over there, there's a bunch of Yoshi Drops artists and some other friends of ours. I think, are you involved as well, Ordonis? Are you guys doing something over there?
Yeah, we have to check again. I have to check again because I have this weekend. It's going to be a long one. There's holidays in my city, and there's 4 days of party. It's going to be intense.
I mean, as you do, right? Yeah. So definitely go and check that out. If you go over to the Crypto Rider channel, actually, Corey and I did a roundtable with some of these artists also involved in the .gems. They're going to be doing graffiti art on the side of the stage as well. It's going to be really cool for artists and musicians alike. So that's really exciting, really fun. And yeah, definitely just, like and subscribe to our channel because we got tons of updates, tons of roundtables that are happening, hopefully with some of the people who I meet on these streams, because you guys are all amazing. It's always a pleasure and an honor to share these streams with people who are creative and working towards building this space out in the best possible, vision of what they see art and crypto amalgamating together and becoming. So I just thanks Nifty as well for always having me.
For sure, man. Thank you for coming on all the time, Jimmy. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys always coming on, man. I just have a few little plugs at the end here. If you're over on OpenSea, Vampaw's back. Vampaw has 55 crazy Ether clan here. So if you're on OpenSea, head on over there. I put the link in the chat. These are a continuation of the Morbs characters. Vampaw was the guy that created the Morbs, and he's the actually supreme leader, and he has clones of himself that wanted to be on OpenSea. So you can go over there, check that out.
Dope. I love it.
And then also I'm dipping my toes in the ocean on Solana.
Hey.
Yeah, nice.
So Soul Surfers are, I just put them up on Monday. It was kind of a last minute idea. I just wanted to get on Solana, and FTX was kind enough to accept my collection. So they're over on FTX, and go check them out. There's going to be 100 of them to start. And I think there's a little promo there. I don't know. You can hear it.
That is so awesome.
Anyway, you get the idea. I don't have a roadmap. I have a wave map, and the wave map is basically we're just going to cross-pollinate this. So in other words, if you have a Solana Soul Surfer, contact me through the Discord. The Discord will then hook you up with a Wax token that you can start getting airdrops on Wax as well. So I'm going to be doing that with most of my collections, I think, from here on out, where you buy on one network and get bonuses on other networks, and hopefully we can start getting people to kind of have so many things in so many different wallets.
Can you buy with Wax?
No, that one I'm working on. But you know what? What I'm going to do is actually release another batch of these on wax. They're not going to be these exact design. It's going to be a different design, but they'll be part of the whole Soulful Space website. So there's going to be aliens and spaceships and mutants and wizards and all that other shit I like. So anyway, these are the surfers.
Yeah, and I want to shout this out too, because I meant to say this before, but I didn't have a chance. And when we were talking about the animated collection of Bones before, like, I really appreciate that. So for all of you artists out there who are crossing multiple blockchains but doing different collections on different blockchains, different pieces of art, even if you're using the same characters, like, I think that's awesome and that's great. And that's what I personally would prefer to see, rather than the same thing on 10 different blockchains. I'd rather see like different curations of different artworks, or different, even if it's the same characters crossing these blockchains, so that no matter what blockchain you're on, you have something original. So yeah, this is my little
definitely got to diversify.
Yes, 100% agree on that. Yeah, because I think that's all coming, guys. And as we've talked on previous shows, Wax is already working on that EVM, so that you will be actually able to use ETH to Wax and Wax to ETH, and who knows whatever else is going to pop up. So might as well get ready for it, right? Might as well. So
Nice.
start going out there. So go check that out, guys. Other than that, we have Waxoween, which is this weekend. Let me pull that up real quick. It is this Saturday from 1 p.m. to 4:20 p.m. It'll just be a live stream just like this one right here, and we'll probably do interviews inside the space. If you go to artdrop.app, you can actually just go into the actual spaces right here and go check out some of the things that are going on inside. So we have a Shining Maze, which is actually a replica of the Shining Maze from the movie, and you can walk around it. And
so cool.
the artwork is inside there for you to check out. And at the end of the maze, there is a treasure chest where you can click and get a free NFT pack that I will be putting in there, a little treat pack. And then there'll also be a trick pack. And I'm going to warn you ahead of time, the trick pack, you can't open until Christmas, and it has lumps of coal in it. So if you want to get that, that's fine with me, but just know that that's what the trick pack is. So you've been warned. Anyway, so go check that out. This is, I think, taking too long to load because of the stream, but I'll come back and on Friday, and we'll walk around there and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And Bones, thank you so much, man, for stopping by. And TC and Punktavian and Jimmy, and I don't know where Mello went. Mello was here for a second, then he dipped out, but we'll get him back in here. And Miss Teen, thank you, and Ordnez, thank you very much, guys. And until next time, we are out. All right,
thank you, guys.
Easy, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks.